Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Adventure Belt. My name is Kelly. This is my new fridge from NEWAIR. It's got some features that actually shocked me. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I've got tons of overlanding content just for you. Now what this is the NEWAIR 48 quart fridge, and this was a fridge they sent me to test, and this thing is actually really cool. I was actually pretty surprised for the price point being under $600, what a great fridge this is. To start off, the most impressive thing that I found so far was how fast it gets down to temperature. Let's test it. Right now, the ambient temperature in the garage is 88.7 degrees. The exterior of the cooler tests at 88.6 degrees. And the inside of the fridge, again, tests at 84.8 degrees. Let's turn it on and see how long it takes to get down to temperature. So that's it, it's down to temperature. It took 31 minutes and 7 seconds, and it's obviously very warm and only getting warmer here in the garage. And it is completely empty, which is probably the harshest way to cool down a fridge because nothing else inside of it is helping it cool down. 31 minutes is a good time. Let's see what the actual temperatures inside are, because now it's reading 29 on the big side and 36 on the small side. And then I'll show you something pretty cool about the dual zones of it. Right now, the ambient temperature is 89.9 degrees here in the garage. The fridge outside is reading 89.6. And let's see what the inside reads. Inside of the large compartment is reading 33.8 degrees. In the inside of the small section is reading 26.6. There is a few degree discrepancy between what the temperature reading was shot inside the fridge and then what it's actually reading. However, remember, it is empty, so it's working really hard to keep that temperature, especially for as warm as it is in the garage here. So, and at this price point, I don't expect perfection when it comes to the temperature reading. The entire time I was talking, the compressor was running, and I bet you didn't even hear it with the mic. My wife took this on a girls' trip up to Cottonwood, a little wine trip, and they slept with this in their hotel room, and this is what they used for all their drinks and wine and champagne and all the drinks that they had. So I asked her, how was it at night? Did you notice it? She's like, honestly, when we first went to bed, I was listening to see if I could hear it, and I didn't think it was on. So I went and checked and felt it, and it was on, but you wouldn't know that it was running just because it's so quiet. What I'm gonna do now is I'm actually gonna unplug it and then plug it back in, and we can hear that compressor kick on and just see how quiet it is. Right now the microphone is almost touching the back here where the vents are. The mic's a little bit above what you're seeing here on screen. I'm gonna unplug it. I'm gonna open it, let it drop some temperature really quick. I'm gonna plug it in and see if we get a good sound sampling. So that's it. That's how quiet this compressor is. It's almost like a really light computer fan. That's pretty much a similar sound that I could compare it to. It's very, very quiet. And even the startup, it just sounds like the fan starts. There was a tiny little click, and I think that was just the system being initiated. And then 30 seconds later, the compressor turned on. Again, it just sounded like that fan starting to turn. So it's really, really quiet. Even now it's running behind me, and I'd be surprised if you could hear it over the ambient noise here in the garage. The NEWAIR fridge is kind of magical in the sense that it's a single compressor unit, but it manages somehow to be a dual zone fridge. The small compartment can actually go down to be a freezer. It can go down to 0, negative, whatever number of degrees to get that water or whatever in there to freeze. The display screen is very easy to use, and it's very easy to read. It's got a power button, a function button, a negative and positive, and then over here has a USB port to kind of charge your phone and whatnot. The power button is obviously to turn the system on and off. The function button we'll get to in a second. The positive and negative, it always defers to the large side. And you see those little icons here where this is the left side is the large portion of the fridge and the right side is the smaller portion of the fridge. and referring to inside, obviously. It always defers to the large side. All I have to do is hit this positive negative to set the temperature. And then if you leave it for a second, it will just automatically set to that temperature. And then if you want to switch it over to the small fridge, all I have to do is turn it on, click it again, and now the small fridge is flashing. And we can turn this bad boy, we'll kick it all the way down to 0 and see what it does. Let's see how far it goes. It goes down to -4 degrees. And the system did come set to Fahrenheit. I know a lot of these fridges that are coming from China are set to Celsius. This one was pre-programmed to Fahrenheit, which is really nice. The fridge has 2 cooling modes. It has Max and Eco. Eco is obviously going to be a little bit friendlier to the battery, and Max will cool it down faster than anything else. Speaking of battery, let's talk about power source. Right now it's plugged into a 110 outlet and obviously comes with a 12 volt cigarette lighter type plug to plug in remotely. There is an optional third power source, and that's behind this plate right here. This is obviously for a battery pack. Unfortunately, NEWAIR didn't offer it on the website that I could find, so that wasn't an option for me, but there is a additional battery pack that can go on here to be totally self-sufficient. And here there's a solar input in order to charge your battery pack remotely. Let's go over some of the features on the outside of the fridge. To start off with, it's got a really nice long handle in order to raise it up for easy transport. The wheels on it are really nice, very easy to move around. There's 2 tabs here on either side of the handle. All you do is push that in and give it a push, and it retracts and then locks in place. You can actually roll this around with the handle in or out. It's pretty easy either way. The front of the fridge has a good texturing to it, just gives it some dimension. It's got corner guards here that are replaceable. One thing that NEWAIR does, which I think is a little different in the industry, is maybe it's because they do commercial as well, is having this energy guide on here, which I don't really see it being functional for this application, but it's just good to know that there actually is an energy guide here, and it will tell you exactly how much it costs to run this per year, which again, not really applicable in this type of function. On the back side here, you have a bottle opener and a handle, which looks replaceable, but doesn't feel high quality. And getting back to the dual zone function, before I open it up to show you the inside, just in the time that I've been talking about the exterior of the fridge here, it's gone from 40 degrees down to 11 degrees on the other side that is set for 0. And it's been about 15 minutes. So that's pretty good. The handle on the fridge is very easy to use, very self-explanatory. It just tilts up and unlocks. And there's a really nice positive sound with the locking mechanism. On top, there's 4 depressions for drinks. Opening the lid up, on the inside you have a cutting board here, which just folds right out and then locks into place. The lid just stays open. There's no chain or cable to keep it open. The lid is also completely reversible. Lift it up, it notches in on one side, pulls out of the other side, flip it around. You flip it around, put it in the notch, closes right up. On the inside of the fridge, there's a light, and each compartment has its own basket. On the inside of the big compartment, you have a drain plug, which is really nice and convenient for cleaning things out. And then on the small side, which is where the compressor is, there's no drain plug, but obviously due to being the compressor below it, you wouldn't want a drain plug there anyway. There's also LED lights on both sides. Now, who is this fridge for? Honestly, this fridge is for everyone, but I could think of one very specific scenario. Let me show you. This fridge is probably not for this guy right here. This is my full-time overland rig, and the reason I call it full-time is I've lost the functionality of the bed with my built-in drawer system that I literally built around my Ice Cove fridge I never take out. I just leave it in all the time. So I only have a few feet on top of everything. I can't haul plywood. I can't haul larger items anymore with the way that my truck is now. The NEWAIR fridge is 100% meant for this guy right here. This is an overlander that likes to keep the functionality of his truck for the rest of the time when he's not overlanding. So the Jackery running the fridge, plugged in, the Jackery's plugged into the 110 outlet in the bed of the Tacoma. The fridge and bins are all just strapped down inside the truck. This was my setup for a long time and it served me well. I just kind of got tired of having to pull bins out, put them on the dirty ground, and just fishing through to find things in the back. The drawer system is just a more efficient setup for as much overlanding as I do. But again, I still miss this. I have to borrow my son's truck to go get plywood and other supplies like that. Now, the real strengths of this fridge are its mobility and portability. Its mobility because of the wheels. It actually is really nice to roll. It's very efficient. With the long handle, you get a lot of leverage, so you're not kicking it as you're pulling it. It's really nice. When it's sitting flush, the whole surface of the bottom is on the ground. It's not rolling on the tires at all when it's sitting on its base here. So it's very stable. It's not gonna roll on you in the back of your truck as easily as other fridges do. And it's very portable because of its light weight. My wife can actually pick this up on her own and put it in the backseat of the truck, which is pretty impressive. It's a very light, compact package. So what do I like most about this fridge? I like the fact that you can set the dual temperatures, which is really I don't even know how they do that on a single compressor, but they're able to get those temperature variations to have a fridge freezer in one compact package. That's very impressive. I also like the portability of it. I like the long handle. I like that you're not having to kick it when you're walking in. And I'll be honest, all you need is this fridge and the Jackery here, and you will have quite the powerful setup. This could probably run for a couple days on the 500 just in econo mode and keeping these nice and cool. It's got very good thermal efficiency. I was actually very impressed with how cold the fridge got, how quickly, and how long it kept that cold temperature at even when unplugged. So let's talk drawbacks, and I've really only found one. The big handle is obviously very sturdy. It's the other handle that has me a little concerned. It just doesn't have a quality feel to it. It's a hollowed out plastic, and I'm sure it's replaceable, but I didn't see replacement parts on their website. So if the handle breaks, that might not be a replaceable part as of right now. I'm actually gonna email the company to see if they do have replacement parts for this fridge, just to kind of set my mind at ease for that handle. Other than that, this fridge is really high quality, much better quality than I would expect from a sub $600 price point. All right, guys, I really hoped you enjoyed that review. If you did, be sure to hit that thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to Adventure Built, and I'll see you guys next time.